Stacey Greene. We are at Park Bait Shop at Montrose Harbor in the city of Chicago. Park Bait Shop is, as far as I know, dated back to 1935 as a bait shop, possibly 34 when the harbor was done and finished and opened. My father took it over in 1958 and he got sick and he passed in 2012, and I've been running it since before that because he was sick, but been part of this my whole life. I'm 57 and this is where I grew up. This is Montrose Harbor and it is part of the Chicago Park District, and that's really, it's just there's a bunch of different harbors up and down the lake, and this one happens to be one of the most accessible still. We are in a neighborhood called Uptown, and my father grew up here in Uptown, and as a kid of the Depression era, they didn't really have to answer to many parents, so he was about 7 or 8 years old and he'd come out here fishing with the guys. There was a bunch of old guys that would fish on the pier, and they sort of took him under his wing because his father had passed away when he was 8. And there was never a time you couldn't find my dad out here fishing. If you looked for him, that's where he was, you know. But he was out on the road for bait most days. I mean, so he didn't spend much time in here. He was wholesaling bait. So most of the bait shops in the city of Chicago, which back in those days was many, he sold bait to all of them, really. This was just sort of a holding place, and he sold some stuff. Then like I said, we kind of built on to this front portion to add a little tackle and different things. I mean, I was, I'll get a little emotional, but I was his buddy, you know, so he took me everywhere we went. Wherever he went, I went. In my business, a lot of things require the weather, bait, and fishing. So all three of those have to come together at certain times. If you don't have good weather, and you don't have good fish, and you don't have good bait, you don't have anything. We have salmon, perch, trout, smallmouth. There are other things, northerns, crappies, bluegills, but the base is perch, and we have 4 seasons technically, like the weather. But so we have our spring and fall is salmon and trout. Then we have summer, and we have winter, which is mostly perch, and then those smallmouth. They have a little big winter fishery on perch now. Perch have become a winter fish more so than a summer. I don't know why, but Mother Nature makes her own rules, so I just go along with her program. Go into the big box stores, nobody's there to help you. Most things are shuffled all over the place. Come in here, ask questions. We know what we're talking about most of the time. We try to be on our game. But, you know, we can get you set up, we can help you out, we can teach you stuff, we can help you learn. So you don't get that in a big box store. You just go in, you buy what you need, you get out. Here you get a personal touch. My clientele is why I am here doing what I do. I love what I do for many reasons, but my customers come pretty close to the top of why I do what I do. There's many stories. There are stories of, look, I was really down and out, and I didn't think I was gonna make it, and I came here to your shop, and you and your son, and you know, it changed my life. Just getting me out fishing. You know, a lot of guys have PTSD. They've come from war. They've come from a lot of different things. Like I said, we've got a lot of people in the neighborhood here. They have drug issues. They have mental health issues. But fishing can keep them calm, sane. And like I said, I've had a lot of different clientele over the years and a lot of stories. A lot of stories.